Shri Rupam Sagratam Sarana Raghunathanvitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasetam Krishna Chaitanyevam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saranalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsham Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Sreshtham Manamapishacha Putram Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagrajamurupurim Mathurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramo Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Prasita Krupaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi Namaste Gurudevaya Sarvasiddhi Pradayine Sarvamangala Rupaya Sarvananda Vidayine Yam Pravrajantamanupetam apeta krityam Dvaipayano Viraha Katara Juhava Putreti Tanmayataya Tarvo Vinedustam Sarvabhutarudayam Munimanatosmi He Shri Guru Jnana Dina Bandho Swananda Data Karunayika Sindho Vrindavana Sina Hitavatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara Trayasvo Jagannatha Guru Sansara Vandina Taddammam Kaladashtam Cha Tvamaham Sharanam Gataham Radha Sanmukha Samshaktim Sakhi Sangadivasinim Tamaham Satadam Vande Guru Rupam Param Sakhim Vairagayug Bhaktirasam Prayatnair Apayayan Mam Anabhipsumandam Krupam Buddhirya Pravadukha Dukhi Sanatanam Tam Prabhumashrayami. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to the lotus feet of Asmadya Guru Pad Padma Nityala Pratijat Guru Shishimat Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Trendi Swami Shishimat Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj Nam Nishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here for the online class, please accept my humble obeisances. So, today we are discussing Chaitanya Charitamrut. And Chaitanya Charitamrut is a very important book. It is, I would say, postgraduate study or even doctoral study of Krishna consciousness. So, last week, Friday, Sripad Dandi Maharaj held this class because I was unable to hold the class. I had some program. So, I think I left at 1.4.156, as you see on the screen. So, any idea where Maharaj left off? Or, anyway, we'll begin here. Kama prema dohakara vivinna lakshan lavara himaja che sarupe vilakshan. The kama is actually called lust and prema is love. Dohakara of the two vivinna separate lakshana symptoms. Lava iron are and hema gold. Jaiche just as swarupa in nature vilakshana different. Lust and love have different characteristics. Just as iron and gold have different natures, one should try to discriminate between sexual love and pure love, for they belong to different categories. With a gulf of difference between them, there is a difference. They are different from one another as iron is from gold. So lust and love. Atmendriya pritivancha dhare kamana, Krishnendriya pritivancha dhare premana. So basically, the desire to satisfy one's own senses, that is actually called lust, and the desire to satisfy Krishna's senses, and that is acceptable as prem. So kama prema dohakara vivinna lakshana. So kama and prem, they have different characteristics, as explained here in Chaitanya Charitamrut. Kama means to satisfy one's own senses, and we want to satisfy Krishna's senses. Gopis, they are decorating themselves. They are also for Krishna's pleasure. They have no pleasure, no desire to please their own senses, but they are doing it for Krishna's senses. So this is that's why Gopi's love is called love, and the mundane in the mundane material world, what we see is actually lust. So lust is generally pursued more, and there is so kama prema dohakar vivinna lakshana lahu ara hema jaise swarupa vilakshana. So we'll find this verse in also the Hindi version. I hope we are able to find this version. Because Hindi version also published by Gopal Chandra Prabhu. And Kama, this you can see right here, the Hindi one. Kama prema dohakara vivinna lakshan laware majache swarup vilakshan. काम और प्रेम दोनों के अलग अलग लक्षण हैं, जैसे लौह और सोना का अपना अपना स्वरूप है. So iron has its own nature and gold also has its own nature. So lust and love, they are distinct. लोहे और स्वर्ण का स्वरूप जिस प्रकार परस्पर भिन्न है, काम और प्रेम प्राय एक जाति होने पर भी उनके लक्षण अलग अलग होते हैं. Now here you can see that iron and gold, they have different nature. And there is one stone called touchstone, that is called Sparshamani or Sparis as it's called Marathi. If you touch that touchstone to iron, it becomes gold. So it's like that. But Guru is even higher than touchstone. Tukaram Maharaj said, "Sachi na sahe upama." The gold, the iron will be converted to gold by the touch of touchstone. But touchstone will not convert iron into touchstone. It will convert only into gold. But Gurudev will make you like him. Gurudev will give you same qualification as himself. He will make your body also Sachidanandam. Gurudev is even superior to the touchstone. Kam or prem ki sagya. Now he is describing what is kam and what is prem. Atmendra ki vancha काम कृष्णेन्द्रिय प्रीति इच्छा धरे प्रेम नाम. अपने इंद्रियों की प्रीति की इच्छा को काम कहा जाता है, किंतु कृष्ण की इंद्रियों को सुखी करने की इच्छा को प्रेम कहा जाता है. So when we desire to satisfy one's own senses, that is called kama. However, when we try to satisfy Krishna's senses, that is called prema. What is the definition of prem? सर्वथा ध्वंसरहितं सत्योपि ध्वंस कारणे यद्भाव बंधनम योनो सप्रेमा परिकीर्तिता. अर्थात ध्वंस का कारण उत्पन्न होने पर भी दंपत्ति का जो सुदृढ़ भाव बंधन किसी प्रकार से भी ध्वंस नहीं होता है, उसे प्रेम कहा जाता है. Although there is a cause for destruction, that love does not get destroyed. That very strong emotional bond between the young couple, lover and the beloved, that is called prem. This is the definition given by Shri Rupa Goswami in Ujjwal Leelamai. एकांत भाव से सर्वात्मा द्वारा आश्रय जाती गोपियां श्री कृष्ण के भाव बंधन में सुदृढ़ रूप से आबद्ध है. So you see that gopis are having unalloyed feeling for Sri Krishna. Gopis are described here as Ashray Jati. Ashray Jati means they are the receptacles of love. And they have an emotional bond with Sri Krishna. Very strong emotional bond. वे कामरूप आत्म सुख के त्याग का सर्वोच्च आदर्श है. Actually, everyone is hankering for lust. And lust means to try to satisfy one's own senses. But gopis embody the topmost ideal of abandoning one's desire for sense gratification. और वे श्री कृष्ण के आनंद का विधान करने के लिए उनकी सेवा में सदा तत्पर रहती है. So gopis always remain eager to satisfy and bring about Krishna's happiness. The gopis really want to satisfy Krishna's senses. They want to give happiness to him. इसलिए श्री कृष्ण की प्रसन्नता के लिए आत्मसुख ध्वंस में उनका प्रचुर आनंद और उनके भाव बंधन की सुदृढ़ता ही लक्षित होती है. So they want to please Krishna, and therefore they even want to destroy their own happiness, even at the cost of their own happiness. Uh, um, they want to suppose gopis are trying to please Krishna, and in the process of pleasing Krishna, their own happiness is destroyed. Still, they receive great happiness. Means even if their own comfort is sacrificed in order to bring about comfort for Sri Krishna, then still they feel great happiness, and their bond, emotional bond with Krishna becomes even more strong. In material world, it is not like this. In material world, like say, husband is having a very good job, and wife and husband are really, enjoying life together. All of a sudden, the husband is discharged from the job. He is sacked, and then there is some bitterness may come, and it may lead to some divorce proceedings also, because the love was based on the economic ability of the husband to earn money. But gopis are not like that. The gopis don't depend on Krishna. For example, Radharani, she never asked Krishna, buy me a sari, bring me ornaments, purchase me this, purchase me that. No, she is not dependent. Gopis are staying at their home, eating foods uh, from their own money, purchasing saris on their own, and they are coming and serving Krishna free of charge. So that's why gopis are themselves calling Ashulka Dasika. Ashulka Dasika means maid servants, unpaid maid servants. Ashulka Dasika. So that is the ideal of gopis. They are doing seva to Sri Krishna free of charge, not charging anything for that, nothing in return. इसलिए श्री कृष्ण की प्रसन्नता के लिए आत्मसुख ध्वंस में उनका प्रचुर आनंद और भाव बंधन की सुदृढ़ता लक्षित होती है. So see that here, the topmost love of the gopis explained. आत्मेन्द्रिय प्रीति वांछा तारे बलिकाम कृष्णेन्द्रिय प्रीति इच्छा धरे प्रेम नाम सर्वथा ध्वंस रहितम सत्योपि ध्वंस कारणे यद भाव बंधनम यूनः सप्रेमा परिकीर्तिता. आत्मा इंद्रिय प्रीति, for the pleasure of one's own senses, vancha, desires, tare, to that, bali, I say, kama, lust, Krishna indriya priti, for the pleasure of Lord Krishna's senses, ichha, desire, tare, holds, prema, love, nama, the name. The desire to gratify one's own senses is calm, lust. But the desire to please the senses of Lord Krishna is prem, love. The revealed scriptures describe pure love as follows. Sarvata dhvamsa rahitam satyopi dhvamsa karane yad bhav bandhanam yuno saprema parikirtita. If there is ample reason for the dissolution of a conjugal relationship, and yet such a dissolution does not take place, such a relationship of intimate love is called pure. The predominated gopis were bound to Krishna in such pure love. For them, there was no question of sexual love based on sense gratification. Their only engagement in life was to see Krishna happy in all respects, regardless of their own personal interest. So, sexual love is based on the desire for sense gratification. And many times you see that if there is some mismatch, then immediately there is a problem in there, And then there is search for paramour, extramarital affairs, all this take place. Even if there is a little, some decrease in sense gratification. But in Krishna and Gopis' love, such thing is not there. Their only engagement in life was to see Krishna happy in all respects, regardless of their own personal interest. They dedicated their souls only for the satisfaction of the personality of God and Sri Krishna. There was not the slightest tinge of sexual love between the gopis and Krishna. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita asserts with authority that sexual love is a matter of personal sense enjoyment. All the regulative principles in the Vedas pertaining to desires for popularity, fatherhood, wealth, and so on are different phases of sense gratification. Basically, three types of ishana. Ishana means desires. There is one for popularity. Popularity means pratishtha. Hmm. Pratishtha sha drishta shapachame shapacharamani me rudinatet katham sadhu prema sprashati sucharitan nanmana sadatam sevasva prabudayita samantamatulam yathatam nishkashvataritam yatam yesheti sa pratishtha sha drishta shapacharamani me rudinatet. There is a dog-eating woman called Pratishtha, desire for prestige. That as long as that desire for prestige is in my heart, Krishna Prem cannot manifest. So we have to give up this desire for name, fame, adoration, and prestige. Also, Putreshna. Putreshna means desire for having children, fathering children. That is also one type of desire. And so people used to father many, many children, like Prajapati. And wealth are different phases of sense gratification. Acts of sense gratification may be performed under the cover of public welfare, nationalism, religion, altruism, ethical codes, biblical codes, health directives, punitive action, bashfulness, tolerance, personal comfort, liberation from material bondage, progress, family affection, or fear of social ostracism or legal punishment. But all these categories are different subdivisions of one substance, sense gratification. So that's why this yesterday we studied that verse in Bhagavatam. Dharmaha projito kaitavatra paramo nirvatsaranam sada. Vidyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayan mudanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamani krute kimba parevishvara satyo yuddhati krutavi shusrubi tatkshanam. Giving up all these desires of sense gratification, because all these activities which are mentioned here will not bring total emancipation of threefold miseries. For that, one will have to become devotee. All these categories are different subdivisions of one's substance, sense gratification. All such good acts are performed basically for one's own sense gratification, for no one can sacrifice his personal interest while discharging these much advertised moral and religious principles. So that's why the gopis stand out. They completely abandoned all the religious principles and even moral principles. आसामहो चरणरेणु जुषामहं स्याम वृंदावने किमपि गुल्मलतौषधीनां या दुस्तजं सुजनम् आर्यपथं च हित्वा तेजुर्मुकुन्द पदवीं श्रुतिभिर्विमुक्त्याम्. So Uddhav is also praying. I worship the lotus feet of these gopis. Why? They abandoned the consideration of moral considerations. What will happen in next lifetime? They never worried about it. Asamaho charanarenu jushamaham syam brindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam yadustajam sajanam aryapatham chahitva ejur mukunda patavi. Let me become one of the Vrindavan's herbs and plants that are trampled by the gopis who gave up all connections with family and friends and decided to worship the lotus feet of Mukunda. These lotus feet are sought by great personals expert in the study of Vedic scriptures. They abandon all these things, even relatives and friends they abandon for Krishna. Pati sutanvayan bratru bandhavan ati vilangate anti achyutam gata gati vidastavo gita mohita kitavayoshita tasta jannishi nanda nandana yashoda nandana e damodara e shri madhava. Dear Krishna, we gopis have neglected the order of our husbands, sons, family, brothers, friends, and have left their company to come to you. You know everything about our desires. We have come only because we are attracted by the supreme music of your flute. But you are a great cheater, for who else would give up the company of young girls like us in the dead of night? So gopis abandoned everything, even their husbands, for the sake of Krishna. So, but above all, This is a transcendental stage in which one feels himself to be only an eternal servant of Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead. All acts performed in the sense of servitude are called pure love of God because they are performed for the absolute sense gratification of Sri Krishna. However, any act performed by the purpose of enjoying its fruits or results is an act of sense gratification. Such actions are visible, sometimes in gross and sometimes in subtle forms. So you can see the Mirabai also. Mirabai also, she sacrificed everything for sake of Krishna. Okay, although the Mirabai's love is not as lofty as Gopi's love, but she was nevertheless an unalloyed devotee of Krishna. The Gurudeva accepted him as an unalloyed devotee. But she was more like Dwarka mood, not following so much in the footsteps of Radharani and Gopis, but she was one pointed to Krishna. We can be try to be like Mirabai, and even better. Uh, we should be uh, better that we actually become like Gopis. Gopi Bharatrupada Kamalayor Das Dasanubhata. So Mirabai, Pad Kungaru Vandar Vira Nachire, वो तो अपने नारायण की पद घुंघरू बांध मीरा नाची रे पद घुंघरू बांध मीरा नाची रे मैं तो अपने नारायण की आप ही होगी दासी रे पग घुंघरू बांध मीरा नाची रे नाम कहे मीरा बनवारी नंद कहे कुलदासी रे मैं तो अपने नारायण की आप ही हो गए दासी रे पद घुंघरू बांध मीरा नाची रे. There's a reading here. Nand kahe kul nasi re. My sister-in-law is telling me that I have destroyed the pride of our dynasty. We belong to Rajput aristocratic dynasty, but by dancing for Krishna, I have destroyed the family lineage and its prestige. But Mira doesn't care. She said, I have become the maid servant of Krishna Narayan. इश्क रंग राना जी खेलया इमख देख मेरा हासी रे मैं तो अपने नारायण की आप हो गई दासी रे पग घुंघरू बांध मीरा नाची रे पग घुंघरू बांध मीरा नाची रे. Mirabai decided, I will dance only for Krishna. I will not dance for anyone else but for Krishna. मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरो न कोई. She had this conviction. Mine is Girdhar Gopal. Other than that, no one is mine. मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरो न कोई जाके सिर मोर मुकुट मेरो पति सोई. My husband is that personality who on his head there is a peacock feather crown. So if Mirabai, she can do this, what to speak of the gopis? Gopis are million times higher. So here, all acts performed in the sense of servitude are called pure love of God because they are performed for the absolute sense gratification of Sri Krishna. However, any act performed for the purpose of enjoying its fruits or results is an act of sense gratification. Such actions are visible, sometimes in gross and sometimes in subtle forms. Next verse. So we'll first read the Hindi one. कामेर तात्पर्य निज संभोग केवल कृष्ण सुख तात्पर्य मात्र प्रेम तब प्रबल. So here, I missed it. कामेर तात्पर्य निज संभोग केवल कृष्ण सुख तात्पर्य मात्र प्रेम प्रबल कामेर of lust तात्पर्य the intent निज own संभोग enjoyment kevala only Krishna sukha for Lord Krishna's happiness tatparya the intent matra only prema love the certainly pravala powerful. The object of lust is only the enjoyment of one's own senses, but love caters to the enjoyment of Lord Krishna, and thus it is very powerful. So, love is very powerful because it only caters to uh, Krishna's happiness. The devotee is trying to satisfy only Krishna's senses, is not trying to satisfy his own senses. लोक धर्म वेद धर्म देह धर्म कर्म लज्जा धैर्य देह सुख आत्म सुख मर्म दुस्तजार्य पथ निज परिजन सजने करे जत ताड़न भत्सन सर्व त्याग करी करे कृष्णेर भजन कृष्ण सुख हेतु करे प्रेम सेवन. लोक धर्म customs of the people. लोक धर्म, that is people customs. Gopis also sacrifice that. Veda dharma, Vedic injunctions. Deha dharma, the necessities of the body. Eating, sleeping. Gopis abandoned that also. Asto dare vinhitaika kapola pale rashrantalochana jalasna pitananaya prasthana mangaladina vadhimadavasya nidra lavopi kuteva saroruhaksha. Only weeping and weeping and weeping for Krishna. Tears in the eyes. दृष्ट्वे चंद्रमसि प्रवृत्ततमसि व्योमांगणस्थेयसि स्फुरजन्निर्मल तेजसि त्वयि गते दूरं निज प्रेयसि श्वासा कैरव कोरकीयति मुखं तस्या सरोजीयति क्षीरोदीयति मन्मथोऽप्यपि द्राक्तृक् चन्द्रकान्तीयति. Radharani's eyes are full of tears, just like the Chandrakantamani melts in the in the moonshine. Radharani's eyes are melting in separation of Krishna. When she sees the full moon, she remembers only Krishna's beautiful face. So they are not eating, not sleeping, also in separation of Krishna, not interested in drinking anything. Karma, they have abandoned fruity work also. Lajja. Lajja means bashfulness. Lajjaivad ghatita kimatra kulisho baddha kapata sthiti maryadaiva vilangita punakutam keyam kalindatmaja. Lajjaivad ghatita kimatra pulisho baddha kapata sthiti. The gopis had abandoned even their lajja, feminine shyness. Actually, feminine shyness is very strong, but gopis said, all right, we'll give that up also. They abandoned also feminine shyness, and they made Krishna and dhairya. And why they lost dhairya? Patience. Because hearing Krishna's flute song, dhairyam mana parigrahe jagane yacham shukalambanam gopinam cha vivechanam nidhuvanaram veraho marganam satvi satcharitam vilasa viratau patyur grahanveshanam tattat gauravarakṣanam muraripur vamshiravapekshanam. Gopi's flute song, the flute song of Krishna, was so charming that gopis lost their forbearance, they lost their patience. Deha Sukha, the happiness of the body, not interested in Deha Sukha. Atma Sukha, the happiness of the self. What to speak of gopis? Even the great sages like Shivdev Goswami and Sanak Sanandan Sanatan, they give up this Atma Sukha. Atma Ramasya Munaya Nirgrantha Pyurukrame Kurvanti Ahitukim Bhaktim Ittam Bhutagano Hari. Krishna is so charming, he is full of so many qualities that even the self-satisfied Atmaram Aptakam sages also engaged in his bhajan. Marma, the essence, dustaja, difficult to give up. These are ya dustajan sojanan aripatam chitva bhijur mukunda patabim shutir vimogyam. Dustajam means difficult to give up all these things. But they give up the Aryapath also. Aryapath means the path of Varnashram Dharma for elevation to the heavenly planets. Gopis were not interested in elevation to the heavenly planets. They say that if we can see Krishna, then we are willing even to go to hell. But only thing is we want to see the beautiful face of Sri Krishna. Nija own parijana, family members, they give up their husbands also. That is what Bhagavatam says. This is called parakiyalas. Parakiyalas means giving up husbands, they came. Pati sutan vayam bhratru bandhava. Swajane, one's own family. Kare do, kare do. Jata all tadana, punishment, bhatsana, scolding, sarva tyagapari, giving up everything. They were also scolded actually. They were punished. Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana ganjantu munchantu va durvadam parigoshayantu abhijana vangshe kalankostu va. तादृक प्रेम नवानुराग मदन मत्तायमानं तुमे चित्तम नैव निवर्तते क्षणमपि श्री कृष्ण पादाम्बुजान. People may call me crazy, they call me a disgrace for the family lineage, they may call me black sheep, I don't care. Like Kula Shekaral has told, Tajantu bandhava sarve nindantu guravo jana tathapi paramanando govinda mama jivanam. Let my relatives all abandon me and my superiors condemn me. Still the supreme blissful Govinda remains my life and soul. Ordinary people may condemn the Lord's devotees as ignorant fools, but the truly learned never do so. As Prahlad Maharaj states, one who has dedicated his life to Krishna through the 9 methods of bhakti should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. But in Kali Yuga, out of ignorance, people mock the saintly devotees and praise demonic leaders in government, entertainment, and sports. Taking courage from the examples of saints like King Kulashekara and others, the devotee should not be ashamed when ordinary people disrespect them. They should be very concerned, however, that the Vaishnavas and the Supreme Lord are pleased with their behavior. Even the sage Narad was condemned for his devotional activities. Daksha cursed him because he taught renunciation to Daksha's sons. Narad remained tolerant, however, and continued traveling and preaching. The aim of Narad and the devotees who follow his example is not to disrupt people's lives, but if their work is misunderstood, they must not abandon their duty, but must continue their mission on behalf of the Lord. So people may disrespect you, but we should try to tolerate. Gopis also, you see, they are very tolerating. So, Sarva Tyaga Kari, giving up everything. Kare do, Krishna of Lord Krishna, Bhajana worship, Krishna Sukha Hetu for the purpose of Krishna's happiness, Kare do, Prema out of love, Sevana service, social customs, scriptural injunctions, bodily demands, fruitive action, shyness, patience, bodily pleasures, self gratification, and the path of Varnashram Dharma, which is difficult to give up. The gopis have forsaken all these, as well as their own relatives and their punishment and scolding for the sake of serving Lord Krishna. They render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. For the sake of Krishna's enjoyment, not for their enjoyment. So therefore, we should be always greatly respect the gopis and follow in the footsteps. That is the essence of our sampradaya. Mahaprabhu accepted that we should follow in the footsteps of the gopis. This is the aim and object of our life. So here, next verse. यहाँ के कहिए कृष्ण दृढ़ अनुराग स्वच्छ धौत वस्त्र जय छे नाही को न डाग. यहाँ के देश कहिए ऐसे कृष्ण इन लॉर्ड कृष्ण दृढ़ strong anurag love स्वच्छ pure dhauta clean vastre in cloth jaiche just as nahi not kona some dag mark. That is called firm attachment to Lord Krishna. It is spotlessly pure, like a clean cloth that has no stain. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita advises everyone to give up all engagements of sense gratification and, like the gopis, dovetail oneself entirely with the will of the Supreme Lord. That is the ultimate instruction of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. We should be prepared to do anything and everything to please the Lord, even at the risk of violating the Vedic principles or ethical laws. That is what Katyavali says. Yadi madhumatana tadangri seva vrudividadati jahati sa viveki tadakhilamapi dushkratam triloke kurtam akrutam nakrutam kurtam cha sarvam. Devaki tanaya sevaki bhavan yo bhavani so kim bhavani tata utpate kvachan satpate piva manasam vrajatu daiva deshitam. So devotees are not afraid about anything. Even sometimes they violate the Vedic principles for the sake of Krishna. What yesterday we were reading Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj, what he did? He disrespected his spiritual master, disobeyed his spiritual master. Why? The spiritual master is telling him, "Oh, don't give your property to Krishna." And Bali Maharaj said, "No, even if my guru is telling me, I will give it to him." If guru is opposed to Krishna, then what we can do? That's why it says, Guru. So this is an ideal actually. Jako na priya Rama Vaide. Jako priya na Rama Vaide. One time, Mirabai wrote a letter to Tulsidas ji, Goswami Tulsidas. What should I do? My in-laws are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Then, very simple reply, Tulsidas ji wrote that Jako na Rama priya Vaide. That if someone doesn't love Radha Krishna or Sita Ram, what you should do? You should shun them as if they are your enemies. जाके प्रिय न राम वैदेही सो छाड़िए कोटि बैरी समा यद्यपि परम स्नेही तजो पिता प्रह्लाद विभीषण बंधु भारत महतारी बलि गुरु तजो कांत ब्रजनितनी भय मुद मंगलकारी नाते नेह राम के मनियत श्रुद सुसेव्य जालान अंजन कहाँ अकी फुटी बहुत कहो कहाँ लो तुलसी सो सब भांति परमहित पूज्य प्राण ते प्यारो जासो हो या स्नेह राम पद ए तो मतो हमारो. Suppose your eyes, your eyes are bad. Suppose you have cataract, or you are blind in one eye. Then what is the use of applying collyrium to that eye which is blind anyways? So if your Prahlad abandoned his father because he was against Krishna, Vibhishan abandoned Ravan because although his elder brother, he was against Krishna. Bharat Maharaj said, all right, I will, Kaikai, she rejected Kaikai, mother Kaikai, because she was against Ram. And actually, is it so? Actually, Shri Anirudh Prabhuji told that we should never and never offend Kaikai. Rather, we should chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra remembering Kaikai. And Srila Gurudev also told that Kaikai was a great devotee. Kaikai was a great devotee. Only because Ram wanted some pastimes to happen in the forest and he wanted to kill some demons and get rid of Ravan, she asked two boons to Dashath Maharaj. But actually she had more love for Ram than even she had for Bharat. And in fact, when Sita and Ram got married, she's the one who donated her own golden palace to Sita and Ram to stay in, because that is what she gifted to Sita when she saw her face for the first time. But here it is said that Bharat abandoned his mother. This is only a pastime. We should never and never think that Kaikai is actually not a devotee or she's an offender. She's a never offender. She's a very exalted, Vaishnavi, Param Vaishnavi, Bhagwan's eternal Parikar, should always offer pranams to Kai. Bali Guru Tajo Shukracharya. Shukracharya told, don't give anything in charity to Vishnu, but Bali abandoned him. So you'll see that Kanta Brajan Gitani. Kanta means husbands. The gopis abandoned their husbands, so-called husbands. Because they never accepted actually their husbands as to be real husbands. They accepted Krishna alone as their lover. So here, that is the standard of love of Godhead. Such activities in pure love of Godhead are spotless as white linen that has been completely washed. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur warns us in this connection that we should not mistakenly think that the idea of giving up everything implies the renunciation of duties necessary in relation to the body and mind. Even such duties are not sense gratification if they are undertaken in a spirit of service to Krishna. Actually, whatever duties that are being given, then we have to do them. For example, one example comes that Uddhav was feeling some ecstasy, fanning Krishna. Uddhav or maybe Akrur, and he condemned that ecstasy. He said, this ecstasy is bringing an obstacle in my fanning Krishna. So I don't want this Ashtasatvikar, these 8 bodily transformations and ecstasy. I don't want them because they're obstructing my ability to serve Krishna. Understand? So duty to duty to Vaishnavas is so exalted. One should uh, do anything and everything to satisfy Guru and Vaishnavas. And if Guru and Vaishnavas are pleased, then certainly Krishna will also be pleased. There is no doubt about it. Krishna will be pleased only when Guru and Vaishnavas are pleased. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, yasya prasadanna gati kutopi, dhyayam stuvam stasya shastra sandhya vande gurusni charanaravinda. So here, अतएव काम प्रेमे बहुत अंतर काम अंधतमः प्रेम निर्मल भास्कर. अतएव therefore काम प्रेमे, in lust and love, बहुत much अंतर, space between. Kama is lust and andhatama, blind darkness, and prema, love, nirmala, pure, bhaskara, sun. Therefore lust and love are quite different. Lust is like dense darkness, but love is like the bright sun. Now, lust is like dense darkness. So we are discussing in Bhagavad Gita that Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajoguna Samudbhava Mahashanam Mahapapa Vidyinam Ihavirinam. That Trividam Narkasedum Dwaram Nashanam Atmanaha Kama Krodha Lova Tasmaditrim. There are 3 gates to the hell: Kama, Krodha, and Lova. And then different degrees of lust. The lust covering, dust covering the mirror, that type of lust. Smoke covering the fire, that type of lust. And the embryo being covered by the womb or the sac, mother's. So that type of lust. So higher and lower type of lust. That is Bhagavad Gita tells us there are different types of lust. So Dhumena Vriyate Vanni Yatha Darsho Male Nacha. Yathol Vena Garbha. So Yatha, so Bhagavad Gita tells us Dhumena Vriyate Vannir Yatha Darsho Male Nacha Yathol Vena Bruto Garbhas Tatha Tenedam Abrutam. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. So there are 3 degrees of covering of the living entity by which his pure consciousness is obscured. This covering is but lust under different manifestations like smoke in the fire, dust on the mirror, and the womb about the embryo. The lust is compared to smoke. It is understood that the fire of the living spark can be a little pursued. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness slightly, he may be likened to the fire covered by smoke. So there are different gradations of consciousness. Yeah. Achadit Chetan, Mukulit Chetan, Sankuchit Chetan, Vikasit Chetan, Purna Vikasit Chetan, 5 degrees of consciousness. So depending on how much our consciousness is covered by lust, so that is lust only covers our actually consciousness. So we have to be very careful. अतएव गोपी गणेर नहीं काम गंध कृष्ण सुख लागी मात्र कृष्ण से संबंध अतएव therefore गोपी गणेर of the gopis nahi not kama gandha the slightest bit of lust Krishna sukha the happiness of Lord Krishna lagi for matra only Krishna Lord Krishna say that sambandha the relationship. Thus, there is not the slightest hint of lust in the gopis' love. Their relationship with Krishna is only for the sake of his enjoyment. 1.4.63 Yatte sujata charanamburuham staneshu pita shanai priyadadi mahi karkasheshu tenatavim atasitat vyathatena kinsvit Kurupadivirbhramatidhirbhavadayushamnam. Very important verse. Yatte sujata charanam burham staneshu Vitashanei priyadadimahi karkasheshu Tenatavim atasitat vyathatena kimsvit Kurupadivirbhramatidhirbhavadayushamnam. The gopis are actually talking to Krishna. Yatte sujata charanam burham staneshu bhita stane bhita shani priyadadi mahi karkasheshu tena tavim atasitat vyatatena kyamsit kurpadivir brahmatidir bhavadayushamna. Gopis are telling that, oh Krishna, your feet are very soft and हे प्रिय हम तुम्हारे सुकोमल चरण कमलों को अपने कठोर स्तनों पर धीरे धीरे धारण करती है उन्हीं चरण कमलों के द्वारा तुम अभी वन में भ्रमण कर रहे हो. So gopis are telling that your feet are very soft and our breast very hard. So we very gently we place your lotus feet on our breast. And now you are walking bare feet in the forest and small pebbles may be sticking in your feet and you must be experiencing a lot of pain. So you are our very life. Therefore we are very worried that and our mind is, our intelligence is now bewildered as to how much pain you must be experiencing. So this is actually Anubhashya. Anubhashya is telling that Ras Lila से श्री कृष्ण के अंतर्धान हो जाने पर उनके लिए गोपियों का विलाप गीत. Actually, when Krishna disappeared from Rasa Lila and he was observing, hiding in the kunja, the moods of the gopis. That time they were weeping in separation of Krishna. And that is what is the Gopi Geet. They're telling a Priya, Te Tava Yat Sujata Charanam Burham. Sujatam Sukumaram Charanam Burham Padakamalam. They are comparing the feet of Sri Krishna to the lotus. Karkasheshu, Katineshu, Staneshu Bhita, Sparshana, Dukha Shankita Satyambaya. Our breasts are very hard. So we are afraid that if your soft feet are placed on our hard breast, you may experience great distress. So we are very careful. Shani, savadhana. Very carefully you place your feet on our breast. Tadimahi dharayama. Tena charanena atavim vanasthalim. Atavim means, in Kannada, Telugu say adavim. Adavi is actually Apabhramsha, corrupted form. Actually, Atavim. Atavim means Vanasthalim. Krishna is wandering in the forest because he is going for tending cows. Gopis, the cows graze there, and cows are cows. They sometimes go anywhere. So gopis cannot tolerate this, and they are telling that your lotus-like feet must be hurt by Kurpadivir. Kurpadivir means Sukshma Pashana Khandai, small pebbles, small pieces of rocks. Rocks, when it is pulverized, it becomes pebbles. And those pebbles, they get stuck in your feet. If you try to do Giraj Govardhan Parikrama bare feet, then you'll see. Sometimes the road is, many pebbles are there. And it doesn't bother you if you are, thin, lean and thin. But if overweight like me, then, oh, it really hurts. It's called acupuncture therapy, I call it. To barefoot parikrama, Brajaman parikrama, not that I would dare it now, but acupuncture. So kim swidna gatate, iti bhavad ayusham. Bhavan eva ayu jivanam yasam tasaha, na asmakam dhi brahmati chanchalata gacchati. So gopis are telling that they are actually having an anxiety that Krishna's feet may be hurt badly by the pebbles. But that is not the case in Braj. Srila Gurudev told that the pebbles in Braj, they are like butter. They never hurt Krishna's feet, and even the thorns here also don't hurt Krishna's feet. Because Vaikuntha Prithvi Adi Sakala Chinmaya. In Vaikuntha, everything, the land, the thorns, the pebbles, they all are conscious. And they're only meant for giving happiness to Sri Krishna. But Gopi's heart becomes restless, chanchal. Chanchalatam yati. Brahmati means chanchalatam yati. Kimartham chanchalatam yati. Why does it become restless? Because they are in anxiety that Krishna's feet are badly hurt. So you'll see that these two versions of Chaitanya Charitamrita have as a mismatch of shlokas, this 10 verses gap. Oh dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on your breast, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds therefore are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. This text from Srimad Bhagavatam 10 canto 31st chapter 19 verse was spoken by the gopis when Krishna left them in the midst of Rasa Leela. So Krishna left them in the middle of Rasa Leela and then he appeared before them also. He appeared before them also. Tasam avirbhut shauri smayamana mukhambuja Pitambaradhara stragvi sakshat manmata manmatha. He saw their mood of separation and he appeared before them. And he was feeling embarrassed for giving them so much trouble. Atma sukha dukhe gopir nahi kavichar Krishna sukha hetu cheshta mano vyavahar. Atma sukha dukhe, in personal happiness or distress, gopira of the gopis, nahi ka not vichar consideration. Krishna sukha hetu, for the purpose of Lord Krishna's happiness, cheshta activity, manaha of the mind, vyavahara the business. The gopis do not care for their own pleasure or pains. All their physical and mental activities are directed towards offering enjoyment to Lord Krishna. So gopis' physical and mental activities are directed towards offering enjoyment to Krishna. They don't care for their own pleasure or their pains. Atma sukha dukhe gopir nahi ka vichar Krishna sukha hetu kare sab vyavahar Krishna agyar sab kari parityag Krishna sukha hetu kare shuddha anurag. गोपियों में अपने सुख या दुख का कोई विचार नहीं है. उनके सभी चेष्टाएं और भावनाएं केवल श्री कृष्ण के सुख के लिए है. गोपियों ने श्री कृष्ण के लिए सब कुछ परित्याग कर दिया. श्री कृष्ण के लिए उनका श्री कृष्ण से शुद्ध अनुराग है. So this is the same in Hindi and English. So here गोपियों के प्रेम में आबद्ध श्री कृष्ण के अंतर्धान होने के लिए क्षमा याचना. In Bhagavatam 10 canto 32nd chapter 21st verse, Krishna is asking forgiveness from the gopis because he disappeared from the Ras Leela. Why Krishna disappeared from the Ras Leela? Because Radharani was developing the man. Evam madarthojjita loka veda swanam hivo mayanu vritte bala maya paroksham bhajata tirohitam masuitum marhat tat priyam priya. ये गोपियां मेरे लिए तुम लोगों ने लोक धर्म वेद धर्म और सभी बंधु बांधवों का परित्याग किया. Oh gopis, you abandoned everything for me. The family lineage, the Vedic regulations, all the society rules and regulations given by the society, your friends and relatives, you abandoned everything. तथापि मुझ में तुम्हारे प्रेम की वृद्धि होगी यह सोचकर मैं अंतर्धान हो गया था. And then Krishna is giving the reason why he disappeared. He's telling that if I disappear, your love for me will increase. because love increases in separation. Actually, love is compared to a river, and the river has two embankments: the embankment of separation and embankment of meeting. So Krishna is telling that um, your love should increase. With that intent, I disappeared from Rasila. हे प्रियाओ, मैं तुम्हारे प्रिय साधन में प्रवृत्त हूँ, इसलिए मेरे प्रति दोषारोपण मत करो. So Krishna is again telling that I was only trying to give you happiness. Actually, I was trying to increase, I was trying to benefit you. So don't blame me actually. So Krishna told when he disappeared from Rasila, and then when he reappeared again, he heard the words of the gopis. He heard the song of the gopis, and then he said, He Priya Abalaha, Evam Anena Prakarena. They are calling Abala. Krishna is calling gopis Abala. Abala means feeble women who are devoid of strength are called Abala. But actually, Acharyas tell Abala means Ashesh Abala iti Abala. Those who are endowed with unlimited strength, that called Abala. Anyways, Madarthojita Loka Vedaswana. Madartham Mat Prapta Nimittam Ujjita Takta Loka Samsara Dharmadaya Veda Parlokik Dharma Swacha Nija Sambandhi Parijanastryapi Krishneka Pranavitasam. For my sake, you abandoned family, relatives, material life, and also consideration of heavenly planets in next lifetime. Parlokik Dharma means you are Krishnaika Prana. Your very life here is Krishna alone. Your life and soul is Krishna. Vaha Yushmakam. Vaha means Yushmakam. Vahi short form of Yushmakam. Mahi Anuvritte. Lakshana Bhaktana Mivanavritti Vritte Paraksham Adarshanam Yatha Bhavati Tatha Bhajata Upakurvata Maya Tarohitam Antardhanina Sitam. So Krishna Tirohit means he disappeared from Rasila. That's called Antardhan or Tirohit. Hitat Tasmat Priyam Mam Asaitum Dos Drishta Drishto Mana Arata. Don't look at me with mentality of fault. Don't find fault in me. I did this, I abandoned you in the middle of Rasa Leela so that your love for me will increase. That was my only reason. So my intent was good. Hey Priyao, Krishna is calling them lovers. Oh Priyao, hey Abalao, oh feeble woman. But actually feeble women actually are all powerful. Ashish Abala. तुम लोग मेरी प्राप्ति के लिए संसार धर्म, लौकिक धर्म. To obtain me, you abandon the mundane rules and regulations of the family life. You abandon even the considerations of Vedas. The Vedic injunctions are meant for elevation to the heavenly planets in the next lifetime. But you abandon even that consideration. You never cared whether you go to heaven or hell. You simply came you came in the dead of night to meet me. So you abandon all those considerations. What will happen if you abandon our husband and go and meet Sri Krishna, who's our paramour? You never worried what will happen. अपने सगे संबंधियों सबका परित्याग कर मेरे पास आई थी. गोपीज वेयर धन्य कज्जल मुक्त वामनयना पद्मे पदोडांगदा सारंगी पुरधरा पाली तिलका लवंगी कमले नेत्रार्पिता नक्तका माधावोत्तरलं तमत्र मुरली दूरे कुलं पूजति कथम वीथिम अस्माकम उपदिशति धर्म प्रणयिनीं प्रसीदं स्वां शिवतां अतिकलमुखीं शालि मुरलीं नयन्ति दृष्टयं परपुरुषे पुंसि हृदयं. Gopis are telling that we are attracted by Krishna's flute song. And all the decoration was topsy-turvy. Means the dot on the forehead was not placed on proper place. Clothes were also in disarray, not wore proper clothes. And ankle bells and necklace were increased, blouse and the skirts were interchanged, and they came to see Krishna because they were attracted by flute song of Krishna. They never worried what will happen to our friends, relatives, husbands, and they never worried about it. They were simply attracted by flute song of Krishna. मैं भी उसी प्रकार से अनुवृत्ति अर्थात प्रेम की वृद्धि के लिए उक्त लक्षण के अनुसार अन्य भक्तों की भांति परोक्ष रूप से तुम्हारा भजन कर रहा था. अर्थात तुम्हारा प्रेमालाप श्रवण करने के लिए अंतर हो गया था. So Krishna is telling that I was indirectly rendering service to you. How? I was hiding and listening to your sweet talks. For example, if Krishna asks the gopis, "Hey gopis, how much you love me? What type of sentiments you have for me?" Then they will tell no. They'll simply say, "I will slap you." They slap Krishna, say, "No, we will not tell you how much we love you." Because there are two things. If you speak of your pious deeds, punya, if you speak of your sinful deeds, papa, and if you speak of your love for someone, then they will decrease. Suppose you have committed a lot of sinful activities and you declare to the public that this is the list of all the sins I have committed. Then all your sins will decrease. By declaring sins, they decrease. And that's why in Catholicism there's a um, confession. There is confession room. Um, and that is true that if you declare the sins and pious spirit also, if you have done some punya, if you declare it, if you disclose how much charity you gave, then that will. Gurudev says when you give charity, your right hand shouldn't know what left hand has given, and what left hand shouldn't know what right hand has given. Understand? We have to maintain secrecy. And prema also like that. Prema also should not be expressed. But Krishna wanted to ask gopis how much they love him, but they wouldn't tell. So Krishna disappeared from Rasleela and secretly saw what they were talking. इसीलिए मेरे प्रति दोषारोप करना तुम्हारे लोग की उचित नहीं. Krishna is telling, please don't blame me. I want you to increase your love. So I was indirectly rendering service to you. Paroksha. Paroksha means indirectly. Pratyaksha and Paroksha. So we'll stop here today for this Chaitanya Charitamrita class, and now we are switching to the another class of Bhagavatam. So Shri Anurag Prabhuji is also here from Gurgaon, and he was the one who inspired me to give online classes. Anurag Prabhu and Meenakshi Didi from Gurgaon, who attended Shri Anurag Prabhu's village, the class of Shastriji. So our Shastriji was Suman Krishna Prabhu, Shastriji from Shuktal, spoke very good Bhagavatam, and we all benefited. And then I also expressed desire to speak Bhagavatam, and they said, why not have online classes so that everyone can attend in the comfort of the home. And with the good internet facilities in India, which are improving day by day, we are having ability to connect internationally and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. So I request Nangmohan Prabhu to do just brief kirtan.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, done the word from. Thank you so much. Can you please just tell me what page you stopped at with Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Yeah, I would say that this particular verse, I would tell you that verse number 1.4.64, 1.464 in English version, 1.464. But in Hindi, that verse is a little bit ahead. But 1.464, you can safely note down.
Thank you so much.
I can.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Anurag here from Gurgaon. Dhanad Maharaj, thank you so much, and apologies. This is my first class where I could join. I was traveling.
No problem.
But thank you so much, and starting this, it's so refreshing, after a tiring day to hear this.
Jai.
So thank you so much. I hope we can continue.
Yes, sure. You all must be knowing that Anurag Prabhu is a chartered accountant, and he's a very good devotee and very sincere follower of Shri Anirudh Prabhuji. Yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I'm going to go to small kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare Krishna. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Vidale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadvantaya Namo Namaha. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmadi Guru Pad Padma Nityala Prashtha Guru Shishma Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Triandi Swami Shishma Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj Ji Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddha Das Prabhu Ji and all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here, please accept my humble obeisances. So, Shri Aniruddha Prabhu Ji always told us that when we chant the holy name, we should study Bhagavatam, remember the pastimes of Bhagavatam. She always, and he has a wonderful book published. Once I was on phone call with Shri Aniruddha Prabhuji and he told me that I am churning the milk ocean and I am bringing about butter, that is called makhan, that is called amrut nectar. And indeed, actually, Hindi books, two books are published, a big one and small one. And everyone is liking that. Vidyabhushan Prabhu is with me. He said, this is a very wonderful book because unprecedented Hindi book actually should be translated in English. Certainly should be translated. Amazing. So Bhagavatam is such an important book. So we are, I think we are page number 24, right? I hope so. So here, भगवत्ता को निर्विशेष विचार से स्थापित करना अपराध की चरम सीमा है. So to say that Bhagwan has no form, this is the topmost offense. So Bhagwan is not formless. Tattvam ekam param vidyat leelaya tadvidasitam. Supreme absolute truth manifest as Gaura and Krishna. So So Gauranga Mahaprabhu is golden in color and Krishna is black in color. But both have a transcendental form. So we should never say that Krishna is formless. It's an offense. Bhagavad Gita 9:11. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. People disregard my transcendental form, my human form. They think I am formless. So it's an offense. इस व्याधि से मुक्त होने के लिए भक्त भागवत के निकट ग्रंथ भागवत की आलोचना करनी चाहिए. भागवत विरोधी के निकट नहीं. जा भागवत पढ़ा वैष्णवेर स्थाने एकांताश्रय कर चैतन्य चरणे. Sarup Damodar Goswami told one Brahman came and he recited some poetry to Sarup Damodar. And he said, I want to recite this poetry before Mahaprabhu. So Sarup Damodar found fault in that. Because he said that in that poetry that Brahman said that Jagannath is actually Achal Brahma and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Chal Brahma. Means he said that Jagannath is dull matter and Mahaprabhu is actually a living entity, minute jiva. So then Sarup Damodar said, what nonsense poetry is this? You are telling that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ordinary jiva and Jagannath is just, it's an offense. Arche Vishnu Shiladhir Gurushu Naramati. To think that deity is made of stone or wood. Gurushu Naramati, to Gurudev to be an ordinary human being, is an offense. So Sarup Damodar told, go and study Bhagavad. Ja Bhagavata pada Vaishnava Rasthane. Go and study Bhagavad under the guidance of the Vaishnavas. Bhagavatam has all the Siddhanta, but that Siddhanta is lock and key, and the key is with a Mahabhagavad. So Bhagavad Virodhi ke nikat nahi. And that's why Mahaprabhu was angry with angry once, because Devananda Pandit, his disciples disrespected Shivas Pandit. When he was ecstatic, he exhibited ecstatic symptoms when Bhagavad class was going on. And they threw Shivas out of the class. And Mahaprabhu was very angry with Devananda Pandit. He wanted to tear his Bhagavad copy. He said, you are not reading Bhagavatam, you are reading something else. Later on, Devananda Pandit received the mercy of Vakreshwar Pandit, associate of Mahaprabhu, and then he was rectified. So जो 24 घंटे भागवत की सेवा करते हैं, जिनका प्रत्येक कार्य ही भागवत सेवा के लिए, जो अचित पिंड जड़ के दर्शन में आबद्ध नहीं है, ऐसे पूर्ण चेतन विग्रह वैष्णव गण अर्थात भागवत गण जो अचेतन की मलिनता के स्नान संग्रह नहीं करते, वही भागवत की सुष्ठु रूप से आलोचना कर सकते हैं. So those who study Bhagavatam 24 hours a day, render service to Bhagavad 24 hours a day, and all their activities are meant for the service of Bhagavad. So people who don't see Jada Darshan, those who don't see Jada Darshan, Sthavara Jangama Dekhe na Dekhe Tara Murti Sarvatra Hai Nija Ishta Deva Spurti. We have to study Bhagavad under such an exalted Vaishnava who doesn't see anything movable or immovable. He sees Krishna everywhere. For example, a pure devotee sees leather. Now, leather, cow's leather. And we see the leather. What will happen? Oh, leather. What is this leather? But a pure devotee will remember that, oh, from leather, a mridanga is fashioned. And mridanga is always playing diktan, diktan, dikiti, dikiti, vyaharatki mridanga. Mridanga is always glorifying Krishna's devotees and condemning non-devotees. Fire on them, fire on them. So they remember Kirtan. Seeing the leather, they remember Kirtan, Radha Krishna's Kirtan. And then they remember Radha Krishna. So wherever their eyes fall, they don't see anything dull matter. Everywhere they see Krishna. So we have to hear Bhagavatam from such a Vaishnava. Sthavara Jangama Dekhe na Dekhe Tara Murti Sarvatra Haya Ishtadeva Smurti. They are seeing their worshipful Lord everywhere. Just like Radharani. She is always seeing Krishna everywhere. Everywhere she is seeing Krishna. So I say Purna Chetan Vigraha Vaishnav Gan means Vaishnavas are Purna Chetan. Purna Chetan means They are highest rung of consciousness. Achadi Chetan, covered consciousness, contracted consciousness, Sankuchit Chetan, budding consciousness, Mukulit Chetan, developed consciousness, Vikasit Chetan, and Purna Vikasit Chetan. Means they are completely on the highest Mahabhagavat level. Mahabhagavat also three categories: Murchit Kashai, Nirdhut Kashai, and Bhagavad Deha Prapta. For example, Narad Muni, when he was Dasi Putra, he had a glimpse of Sri Krishna, momentary glimpse. He was Murchit Kashai. He had some small contamination. He wanted to do Sattvic Vanvas, stay in the forest. But Shukdev Goswami is an example of a middle level Mahabhagavata. He is Nirdhut Kashai, completely free from everything. But Narad Muni, when he became associate of Sri Krishna, and he got the Veena given by Radharani, Devadatta Mimam Veenam. So that Narad Muni is actually Bhagavad Parshad Deha Prapta. He is the highest Mahabhagavata. So we have to hear Bhagavad from such an exalted Mahabhagavatas of any of these three categories. Purna Chetan or Purna Pragya Adhin Bhagavata. Purna Pragya means Purna Pragya. Purna Pragya is the name of Madhvacharya. He is full consciousness. Madhva. Madhu. Madhu means Ananda and Va means knowledge. The word Va also means knowledge, Tirtha also means knowledge, and Madhu means bliss. So bliss and knowledge means Ananda Tirtha. Ananda Mukunda Aravinda Nayana Ananda Tirtha Parananda Varada Ananda Mukunda Aravinda Nayana Ananda Tirtha Parananda Varada Sundari Mandira Govinda Vande Sundari Mandira Govinda Vande Ananda Tirtha Parananda Varada. So Anand Tirtha Bhagavad Padacharya's followers, Madhva Gaudiya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, we should hear Bhagavad from their lips. जो अचेतन की मलिनता से ज्ञान संग्रह नहीं करते, वही भागवत के सुष्ठु रूप से आलोचना कर सकते. So we don't have to get knowledge from the mundane senses, because mundane senses can get the knowledge about dull matter. Eyes can see the matter, ears can hear the mundane sound. But we want to hear Harikatha from the lips of Vaishnavas who are hearing the flute song of Krishna, like Sarom Bhattacharya. Sarom Bhattacharya knew all the 6 theistic philosophies in India. But was he attracted to these 6 theistic philosophies? No. Oh, he was attracted only to the flute song of Krishna. So the Vaishnavas of the caliber of Sarom Bhattacharya can speak Bhagavatam. Nyatam kana bhujam matam parichitair anvikshiki shikshita मीमांसा विदितैव सांख्य सरणी वेदे वितीर्णामति वेदांता परिशीलिसा सर्वतम किंतु स्फुरन् माधुरी धारा का चननंद सोनु मुरलिं मच्चित्तमाकर्षति. I know the Sankhya Darshan of Kapil, and I know Vaisheshik philosophy. I know of Kanad, and I know actually Yoga Darshan of Patanjali. I also know Purvimamsa of Jaimini also I know, but these things are not attracting me anymore. Since I heard the definition of Vedanta Sutra from the lips of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, only flute song of Krishna is attracting me. Why? Because this flute song of Krishna is dancing on the heads of the Devis of Upanishads. If the Ruchas of the Upanishads are considered goddesses, then on their heads this flute song is dancing. Durarohe Lakshmivati Bhagavati Naam Vipadam Dadana Dhammille Natatiri Katine Yopanishadam Rutir Vamshi Janma Druta Madhurima Sa Madhuripo Katham Asmakam Shutishikaram Arokshati Kada Kadaham Hirdayite Sangamahite Muhur Brahmam Brahmam Chaitalaharim Gokulapate Laban Uchar Nata Nayana Payasam Vedi Viryam Karishe Sut Kanto Vitabupasekam Vitapinam. When will I wander on the bank of Jamuna and I will hear sweet Harikatha of Sri Krishna, and I will talk to every single tree. And I'll ask them what pastime took place here. And they will tell, this is the pastime of Kishore. Kishore took place today, last night. And ecstasy will brim in my limbs, tears will come in my eyes, and I'll irrigate those trees with my tears as Guru Dakshina. Actually, there was a person living in Kashi. He became attracted to Radha Krishna's pastimes. And as a result of hearing Radha Krishna's pastimes, he was born in the Braj as a tree. He was not fully dedicated, otherwise he would have become Parikar, but he was born as a tree in Bhauma Vrindavan. Then one particular person, he wanted to pass stool near the tree. And then that tree spoke to him. He told that sadhu, please don't pass stool near me. I am doing bhajan here. It will disturb my bhajan. The stench of your stool will disturb my bhajan. Then that Vaishnava asked him that, how come you became tree? Then he said, I was a Brahman in Kashi. I was attached to hearing Krishna's pastimes. But I didn't give up doing my karma kanda also. So as a result, I became a tree. But I am not unhappy. Last night, Radha Krishna sported under my shadow, in my kunja, underneath me. So I am very happy I am able to see Radha Krishna's sweet pastimes. But that bhajan is going on. Night time, sometimes Radha Krishna sport underneath me. And daytime, I am remembering those pastimes. If you pass stool, it will disturb my bhajan. So please don't pass stool very close to me. You can go far away in the field, but don't disturb me. So like that. So यदि भागवत पढ़ते समय मन में ये विचार आए कि भागवत में कुछ मनोकल्पित उपाख्यान दिए गए हैं, तो फिर भागवत अध्ययन नहीं हुआ. So Bhagavatam is not something fabricated. It is not something imaginary pastimes. They are not like the pastimes of Laila Majnu, Hira Ranza, Romeo and Juliet. These are not the pastimes of Bhagavad, are not like that. Bhagavatam are the very real. Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivatam Tapatrayon Moolanam. Vastavam. Bhagavatam is Satyam. Satyam means Bhagavatam, the first verse says Satyam. What is Satyam? Satyam means Krishna, the reality. But Bhagavatam says, I made it not on Satyam, but I made it on Param Satyam. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Means Param Satyam is Radharani. So every single word of Bhagavatam is talking about Radharani. Every single line of Bhagavatam is talking of Radharani. Without Radharani, there is nothing in Bhagavatam. So how can Bhagavatam be imaginary? So Radharani is the topmost reality. Satya sa Satyam. Radharani is Satya sa Satyam. Nihitam cha Satya. Satya. She is the truth of the supreme truth, absolute truth. We made it on the absolute truth, Krishna, and when Krishna made it on Radharani. So that love between them is also real. Avirbhava dinena yena ganito hetustaniyaanapi shyetapina cha parada vidhina natyanayo vardhate piyusha prativedinastri jagati dukkha druha sampratam premnastasya guru katham nu karavai Vangnishthata Laghavam. Who can describe the love between Radha Krishna? How can you say that this Rasa Leela is imaginary pastime? Not at all. All the great poets, all the great Vaishnavas have told that this fruit song of Krishna is not imaginary. Gopi's Rasa Leela is also not imaginary. But rather Lord Shiva is telling, Vrindavane Mukundasya Nityalila Virajate Spashtamesha Rahasyatva Janadvir Apinochyate. Nityalila of Radha Krishna is even today going on in Vrindavan. How can it be unreal? How can it be imaginary? But because it is so confidential, Shukdev Goswami only described those pastimes in brief. Tasam Nitya Viharameva Tanute Vrindavane Madhavo Ushtham Bhoja Mukhi Virivityamana Proche Priyai Hara Leela Ratna Rahasyatam Rajapatir Bhuyasya Pashyat तत्वज्ञोपि पुरांतरे च गमनम व्याचष्ट वयासकी. Oh, Vyasaki, the son of Vyasadeva, Shukdev Goswami told that Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Dwarka. Actually, it was his attempt to hide the Braja pastimes. He wanted to briefly summarize Braja pastimes so that very confidential pastimes are not disclosed by him. He knew everything. He knows that these pastimes are eternal. So Bhagavatam is not something imaginary. श्री गौर सुंदर ने जिस प्रणाली से भागवत की आलोचना करने के लिए कहा है, उसके अनुसार आलोचना न करने से वृक्ष के ऊपर के हिस्से को बचाए रखकर जड़ को अंदर से काट देने जैसी स्थिति होती है. इसलिए 24 घंटे में से एक निमिष काल में So Gauranga Mahaprabhu has given us how to study Bhagavatam. He has told us that Shrimad Bhagavatarthanam Aswadyo Rasikais. We have to relish Bhagavatam under the guidance of Rasik Vaishnavas. And if you don't study Bhagavatam under the Rasik Vaishnavas, then what will happen? Then you are actually maintaining the upper part of the tree but cutting the root. And if you cut the root of the tree will die anyways. The first verse of Bhagavatam, hundreds and hundreds of definitions are there. Some say that the first verse of Bhagavatam glorifies sun god. Some say that it glorifies Ganesh. Some say that it glorifies Lord Shiva. Say that the first verse glorifies Rudraksha. There are some people say that, but our Gurudev, Acharyas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the first verse of Bhagavatam glorifies Radharani. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Krishna's Bhargo Kasya Bhargo. Krishnasya Bhargo. So that is the first. Bhagavatam and Gayatri Mantra, same conclusion is there. Krishna's potency is glorified, Radharani is glorified. So we have to, every moment out of 24 hours, hear Bhagavatam and glorify Bhagavatam. Other than Bhagavatam, we should not glorify anything. भवरोगी संप्रदाय का विषम रोग निर्विशेष परक वेदांत के विचार के नाम पर रजोगुण और तमोगुण प्रकृति को वर्धित करना और सर्वत्र ब्रह्मदर्शी के नाम पर दरिद्र को नारायण कहकर स्वयं दाता बनकर जन्मांतर अर्थात बाद में प्रशंसा और फिर सेवा करने की चेष्टा करना है. So people are actually suffering from bhavarog. Bhavarog means punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. So this is bhavarog. Bhavarog means again and again taking birth and again and dying. So therefore, we should try to give up this bhavarog. Swargarthya व्यवस्थित रसो दीन यत्तेव लोकान् मोक्षापेक्षा जनयति जनम केवलम क्लेशभाजम योगाभ्यासः परम पुरुषै परम विरसै तादृशी किं प्रयासै सर्वं त्यक्त्वा मम तु रसना कृष्ण कृष्णे तिरौतु. स्वर्गार्थिया व्यवस्थित रसो दीन यत्तेव लोकान्. The desire to be going to the heavenly planets make people very wretched. ठीक है. मोक्षापेक्षा जनित जन्म केवलम क्लेश भाजम. The desire for liberation also gives only distress. That is Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्त चेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर् दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. Those who are attached to the impersonal conception, they have a lot of problems. Very difficult to focus on impersonal conception of Godhead. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, Bhukti Mukti Spra Yavat Pishachi Rudi Vartate Katham Bhakti Sukha Syatra Abhyudayo Bhaved Shri Krishna Charanam Bhoja Seva Nivritta Chetasam Isham Mokshaya Bhaktanam Nakadachit Spruha Bhaved. Oh, the devotees who are unalloyed devotees of Krishna, they don't want liberation and they don't want sense gratification also. If these two desires, desire for liberation and desire for sense gratification are there, then bhakti cannot manifest. Bhakti seva bhagavato muktis tatpadalanganam Ko mudo dasatam prapya prabhavam padamechati. Bhakti means to render service to Radha Krishna, and mukti means not to render service to Radha Krishna. So who wants liberation? Liberation is trivial. Liberation is not equal to even one drop of the ocean of bliss of bhakti. So people are only cultivating Nirvishesh Vedanta, Rajogun and Tamogun, Prakriti. They're only increasing their mode of passion and mode of ignorance in the name of studying the impersonal Vedanta. But Vedanta is actually clearly states very clearly, Janmadasya yato, everything comes from Om Janmadasya yato Om, Om Anandamaya Abhyasat, Om, Om Anavrittit Shabdat, Om. All these Vedanta sutras indicate that Krishna is not formless, is full of bliss. And Mahaprabhu also destroyed the impersonal conception of Sarvam Bhattacharya. And Mahaprabhu established that every single scripture in the world is a temple of Lord Krishna. Dvasta Sarvabhauma Vadanavya Tarka Shankaram Dvasta Tadvivartavada Danaviyadambaram Darshitartha Sarva Shastra Krishna Bhakti Mandiram Prema Dharma Devameva Naumi Gaura Sundaram Prema Dharma Devameva Naumi Gaura Sundaram Atmarama Vachanadi Nirvishesha Khandanam Shrautavakya Sarthakai Kachid Vilasa Mandanam. Mahaprabhu showed that all the pastimes of Sri Krishna are transcendental. There is nothing impersonal about it. So how can you say that Narayan is Daridra? How can you say Daridra is Narayan or Narayan is Daridra? Narayan is never Daridra, and poor man cannot be Narayan. And then Narayan cannot be poor and poor man cannot be Narayan. But rather, every poor man or rich man, they are servants of Narayan. Mat janmana phalamidam madhukaita bhare mat prarthaneva madanesha tad vritya paricharaka vrittasya vritti mam smaralokanatha. That's all. Whether I am poor or rich, I am servant of Narayan. Narayan is super rich. He is the Lakshmi Sahasra Sambrama Sevyamanam. Bhagavatam Gopigit says very clearly, Jayati te dikam janmana braja shrayatam indira shashvadatrahi. Oh, since Krishna you took birth in Braj, the goddess of fortune Indira has come here and she has become the maid servant here. She is decorating Braj with all her opulence. So how can you say that Narayan, Krishna, on his chest, Swarna Rekha, Lakshmi is present in the form of golden line, golden hair. How can that Krishna be Daridra? Never and never. What to speak of? Devotees of Krishna may be Akinchan, but they are not Daridra. Why devotees of Krishna are not Daridra? Because they are Akinchan. Akinchan means devoid of material possessions. But another meaning of Akinchan means Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, Anirudh Prabhu's Gurudev, he gave this definition. Means Ashesha Rupena. Means Krishna. Aksharanam Akarosmi. Krishna says, I am among all the syllables, I am A, Alpha. I am Alpha, means one whose wealth is Krishna, that person is called Akinchan. One whose only wealth is Krishna, that is called Akinchan. So devotees are also not poor, but they are actually very wealthy because their only wealth is Krishna. बाद में प्रशंसा या फिर सेवा करने की प्राप्त करने की चेष्टा करना है, किंतु ऐसी चेष्टाओं का मूल्य फूटी कौड़ी से भी कम है. ये केवल तभी समझ में आ सकता है जब भागवत की आलोचना हो. Actually, people are trying to serve the poor people. I open a hospital, and in hospital the very serious criminal is treated and he goes and keeps on murdering people, then I get the sin. So philanthropic activities are okay, but everything should be done to satisfy Sri Krishna. Even higher than philanthropy. So suppose there is There is a person, all right. Let's see. There is a person who has opened 1,000 hospitals. Leprosy hospital, cancer hospital, heart care, cardiac care, eye care, ear care, nose care, throat care, everything. 1,000 free hospitals. Means there is no fees for the persons to get treated there. And another small boy is there, 5 or 10-year-old boy. And his father is worshipping the deity of Krishna. And that boy is simply ringing the bell. Who has the more sukriti? The boy who's ringing the bell in front of the deity gets far more sukriti and punya than opening millions of hospitals. So that we should understand. Bhakti cannot be compared. Jnanamasti tulitam cha tulayam premanaiva tulitam cha tulayam siddhireva tulitatra tulayam Krishna nama tulitam na tulayam. Impersonal knowledge, material knowledge, mundane knowledge is futile and finite. But Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Nam is unlimited. Mystic perfections also are measurable. But Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Nams, glories of Krishna Nam are immeasurable. So therefore, what is use of this broken conscience? Rather, we should be engaging in pure devotion instead of this serving Daridra Narayan. भागवत की आलोचना के अभाव में ही ऐसी बातें विभिन्न देशों में बहुमानित होती हैं. Because people don't know the conclusion of Bhagavatam, that's why so much importance is given to philanthropic activities, serving Daridra Narayan. श्रीमद् भागवत में सभी प्रकार के रोगों की चिकित्सा प्रणाली विद्यमान है. भागवतम इज द डॉक्टर. Bhagavatam is the doctor. Actually, there are many temples in India where Hanumanji is there and he cures the diseases. Why Hanuman can cure the diseases? Because Sumiri Pavana Sutta Pavana Namu Apane Basa Kare Rakhai Ramu. By chanting the name of Ram, very clearly Hanuman has completely controlled Ramchandra. Only by bhakti. Actually, who can be more intelligent than Hanuman? But Hanuman always attends Bhagavad Katha, Ram Katha, Krishna Katha. He's always present. So any disease is there. Idam shariram parinama peshalam patantyavasham shatasham kima uchadam ushchiduda durmate niramayam krishna rasayanam piva. That so many diseases are there: arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, spondylitis, cancer. What medicine you're asking? Oh, only one medicine is there: Krishna Nam. Only chant the name of Krishna, all diseases will go away. Naam naam ki aushadhi jo khari niyat se khaye koi rog aave nahi maharog mit jaye. Anirudh Prabhuji is an example. Always chanting 3 lakh holy names. He's 98-year-old, but completely healthy. Completely healthy because of the power of the holy name. He says, when I chant the holy name, the nectar comes on my tongue. There's a shower of nectar on my tongue, and I drink only 1 glass of water, even in the intense heat, and only once a day I eat, and I am healthy. So this is Anirudh Prabhuji. So Bhagavatam is also cure for all the diseases. यदि श्रीमद् भागवत अखिल रसामृत सिंधु भगवान श्री कृष्ण चंद्र का स्वरूप है, तथापि अचेतन मिश्रित भाव द्वारा आवृत अवस्था में उसे देखा नहीं जा सकता. भगवान इज अखिल रसामृत मूर्ति. अखिल रसामृत मूर्ति मीन्स he is the embodiment of all the mellows. अखिल रसामृत मूर्ति प्रसुर रुचिरुद्ध तारका पाली कलित श्यामला ललितो राधा प्रियान विदुर जयति. स्वपक्षा gopis, the gopis of Radharani's sides, the gopis of Chandravali's side, Vipaksha gopis, gopis of Surut Paksha like Bhadra, like Pali and Bhadra and Tatastha, all types of gopis. Krishna is satisfying all the gopis. He is the beloved of all 4 types of gopis. He is the embodiment of all the mellows. And also he is the all the melos are present in him. Mallanam ashadir naravaraastrinam swaro murtiman gopanam asanam shruti shasta cha pitro shishu. Mallanam ashanir nunam naravaraastrinam swaro murtiman gopanam swajano asatam kshiti shasta cha pitro shishu. Mrityu bhojapate virada vidusham tattvam param yoginam Vrishninam paradeviteti vidito rangam gata sagraja. So the various groups of people in the arena of regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The rest saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, the man of Mathura as the best of males, the woman as Cupid in person. Seyam nadi kumudavandakarastev tadyamunam tatamidam nikilam tadedat ahantakim tu navanirda komalango naloki pushpa dhanusha prathamatara. Gopis are telling that I am not able to see the incarnation of Cupid, the first manifestation of Cupid. Krishna is Kama Devasya, Kama Bija Shiromani. So women in Mathura also saw that Krishna is very Cupid. Krishna is very Cupid personified. He is the original Cupid. The Cupid which is in the heavenly planets is nothing but his facsimile. So the cowherd man as their relative, and the impious rulers as a chastiser, his parents as their child, and the king of the Bhojas as death. Actually, Krishna, when he lifted Giraj also, so many melos were manifest. And Krishna reciprocates with devotees of all the melos. Satrasarti Yashodaya Priyagunam Pritekshanam Radaya Nagner Ballava Sunubhi Sarvasam Sambhavitatmo Jitair Pita Nandita Vismetana Vishimam Nandena Chalokita Payadvakara Padma Sustita Maha Shaila Salilo Hari. When Krishna lifted Giraj Govardhan, Yashoda was very worried. Oh, my little baby, little child is lifting Giraj Govardhan. But Radharani was very happy that, see my beloved so strong. Viryam Kandukitatra. That he has made the Giraj Govardhan into a small ball, tiny ball, like the baby is lifting, like child is lifting. Viryam Kandukitatri. And he's so charming and he's also very strong. Nandamala is very happy that my son has lifted Giraj, but also he's also a little afraid that Giraj may fall. And little naked boys, they thought that we have lifted Giraj, and they're putting their sticks. And when Krishna lowered his left pinky a little bit, then all their sticks broke. They said, "Oh Krishna, please protect us." So you'll see that so many melos are there. Krishna deals with all the gopis, motherly gopis, parent, father, and his friends in different melos. So he's a killer Samvrata Murti. सो जब तक हमारा अभिनिवेश मलयुक्त ज्ञान में रहता है तब तक हम भगवान की श्री मूर्ति में अनेक प्रकार के मलिनता लक्ष्य करते हैं. So we are absorbed in contaminated knowledge. So therefore, we also think that Bhagwan's deity also having some contamination. But Bhagwan's deity is having no contamination. Bhagwan's form is spotless. मम चेतसि स्फुरतु वल्लवी विपुर मणि नुपुर प्रणयी मंजु शिंजितम कमलावने चर कलिंद कन्यका कलहंस कंठ कलकूजिताद्रुतम. So Bhagwan Swami is free from any contamination. The ankle bells of Bhagwan Sri Krishna are ringing, and the chirping of the swans on the shore of Jamuna, on the bank of Jamuna, is not as sweet as the ankle bells of Sri Krishna. So how can you say that Krishna's form is having any contamination, any spots? Krishna's form is nirmal. Krishna is completely free from any contamination. वास्तव में यह अपनी अपनी दर्शन इंद्रियों की अपटुता मात्र है. Actually, our senses are incompetent. What to speak of our senses when the gopi's senses are incompetent? One gopi asked another gopi, "Oh, my dear friend, did you see Krishna completely?" She said, "No. I have a desire to see all the limbs of Sri Krishna, But I have not been able to see all the beautiful limbs of Sri Krishna in one go, all at once. Why? Then that Gopi told, because Sarvanganam Shriyanamama Ekadananda Sono Drashtu Mancha Yasmin Ange Nayanugalim Purvameva Nurakta Tasmin Eva Bhutarasame Nishalasin Nimagna. The thing is that when I see the beautiful nose of Sri Krishna, which is as attractive as the sesame flower, I keep on just gazing at his nose. Then I don't get a chance to look at his eyes or his neck, function like neck, or his arms, nothing. So that's why, what to speak of us then? If the gopis also cannot appreciate the beauty of Krishna's limbs, how can our eyes be competent to see and appreciate the beauty of Sri Krishna? So let Krishna Radha, we should go to temple and attend the Mangalarti so that Krishna will see us. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada used to say, don't try to see Krishna. Rather act in such a way that Krishna will want to see you. अमल ज्ञान लब्ध व्यक्ति उस प्रकार से दर्शन नहीं करते. जो साधारण दिखाई देने वाली स्त्री अर्थात गोपियों के अनुगत नहीं है, वे जो दर्शन करते हैं वे काम नेत्र से भागवत का दर्शन करते हैं. But those who have got spotless knowledge, they don't see Bhagwan with the mundane eyes. So those who are ordinary movement, those who are following ordinary movement but not following the transcendental gopis, then they see Bhagavatam but with the lusty eyes full of lust, not with the eyes full of love. अपने इंद्रियों का तर्पण करने की इच्छा से संशिष्ट दर्शन में मलिनता है. So we are trying to satisfy even while reciting Bhagavatam, we are trying to satisfy our senses. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada used to say that some person has some betel nut, and betel nut is very hard to break, but he has two big Shaligram Shilas. Then he will try to break that betel nut with the Shaligram Shila. This is not the use, this is actually misuse, abuse of the Shaligram Shilas. So we are not really serving Bhagavatam, but we are trying to abuse Bhagavatam because our eyes are full of lust. एक ही वस्तु अनेक बार मलिनता के परिणाम में अनुसार ही विभिन्न प्रकार की दिखाई देती है. So our eyes are contaminated, so we are not able to see the same object appears to be different to us because of a contamination. Our vision is not clear. For example, a blind man. There was a story of 6 blind men. They were told, how does elephant feel like? One blind man actually touched the elephant and he said that elephant is like a big rope. Then someone touched the trunk of elephant and said that elephant is like a big pipe. Someone foot of the elephant, he said elephant is like a pillar. Someone touched the belly of the elephant and he said elephant is like a wall. So blind men are trying to describe an elephant. Their darshan is imperfect darshan. And that's why we have to take help of Sudarshan Chakra. Without the mercy of Sudarshan Chakra, we cannot have proper darshan of Bhagavan. That's why we always pray to Sudarshan Chakra. So that our eyes have cataract. Om Ajnanati Virandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. My eyes were affected by cataract and Shri Gurudev, using a golden stick, they removed that cataract, doing a surgery, optical surgery on my eyes, ophthalmic surgery on my eyes. Shri Guru Padana Mani Gana Jyoti Sumirata Divya Drushtiya Hoti. If we made it on the transcendental rays emanating from the toenails of Srila Gurudev's lotus feet, then cataract from our eyes will go away and then we can have a clear vision to see Krishna and Bhagavatam. अनर्थकालीन अवस्था तथा अनर्थ मुक्त अवस्था में दर्शन पृथक होता है. Actually, we are full of anarthas, unwanted desires, unwanted habits. Sukrutyutta anartha, dushkrutyutta anartha, aparadutta anartha, bhaktiutta anartha. But when pure devotees who are free from anarthas, they see Krishna in different manner. Shri Anil Prabhuji also tells many times, that we went to Surdas Bhajan Kutir and there He was able to see on the wall Krishna very clearly, and we were not able to see. We are seeing the hazy, see some glimpse, but it was hazy. So he said that I prayed to Krishna, he is there. But because your heart is not pure, you are not able to see Krishna. So that is the thing. But प्रेमाञ्जनच्छ्रित भक्ति विलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्याम सुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Duryodhana was not able to see Krishna. He only wanted to kill Krishna. But Vidurani was able to see Krishna. Draupadi was able to see Krishna. Because their eyes were anointed with love. Without prem, you cannot see Krishna. छायातिलोचन पथम न जगामयस्य सेयं मधुरनगर मध्यम अलंकरोति किं चाकलय्य मथुरा नगरे मुकुंद अंधोपि बंध करदत्तकरः प्रयाति. When Krishna came to Mathura, even the most chaste woman of aristocratic lineage, royal lineage, whose shadow also cannot be seen by anyone, means they are not even seen by the sun god. Such women also came on the street to see Krishna. Even the blind men, keeping their hand on the shoulder of their friends, were walking to see Krishna. Now, how the blind men can see Krishna? Actually, they can see by the eyes of their heart. Like Surdas was able to see Krishna. Surdas, the Gosaiji was decorating the deity of Krishna, and Surdas used to glorify in his song how the decoration is today. But one day, they decided to test Surdas' ability. They thought that someone is telling Surdas what type of dress Krishna is wearing, and he's writing a song. So one day they kept Krishna naked, and they said, "Please describe the clothes of Krishna today." And Surdas said, "Aj Hari Nangamanango." Oh, my Krishna is completely naked today. So you'll see that this is Surdas. He's seeing Krishna by the eyes. He's not able to see Krishna uh, by eyes, but by seeing by heart. His eyes and heart have become one. So अपनी इंद्रियों का तर्पण करने की इच्छा से संश्लिष्ट दर्शन में मलिनता है. We should not try to satisfy our own senses. एक ही वस्तु अनेक बार मलिनता के परिणाम के अनुसार ही विभिन्न प्रकार की दिखलाई देती है. अनर्थकालीन अवस्था तथा अनर्थ मुक्त अवस्था में दर्शन पृथक होता है. अनर्थयुक्त अवस्था में पूर्ण प्रकाशित वस्तु का दर्शन नहीं होता. साधारण व्यक्ति और परम मुक्त व्यक्ति के दर्शन में पार्थक्य. Liberated person and ordinary person, their darshan is different. मैं बहुत बुद्धिमान हूँ. मैं भागवत को स्वयं ही समझ सकता हूँ. इसे समझने के लिए मुझे किसी की आवश्यकता नहीं है. जो ऐसा कहता है उसे उतनी ही भूल भ्रांति हुई है. So we should not think that I am very intelligent. I can understand Bhagavatam. I'll read Bhagavatam at home and I'll practice bhakti. Why need a guru? No, not like that. But rather we should try to hear the discourses of high class Vaishnava. Suppose a very Mahabhagavat Vaishnava will come. Oh, you should sit. You should give up your book distribution program, reading your books, chanting mala also. And also you can give up cow protection and Gurukul and all those activities, food for life, all those things, hospital, everything. And go and sit in the Harikatha. Don't miss the Harikatha. If a Vaishnava is really very elevated, then don't even chant Hare Krishna. Just listen what he's saying. And once he's gone to next village or next town or next country, then you can resume your activities, no harm. But when Harikatha is going on, then तत्रैव गंगा यमुना च तत्र गोदावरी तत्र सरस्वती च सर्वाणि तीर्थानि वसन्ति तत्र तत्राच्युतोदार तथा प्रसंगा. Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, all the holy waters converge in the place. Harikatha is going on. Aho aho bhirna kaler viduyate sudha sudharam. Aho aho virna kaler viduyate sudha sudharam pade pade dine dine chandana chandra shitalam yasho yashoda tanayasya giyate. Kaliyug cannot give any trouble to a person who's chanting Hari Krishna mantra and who's hearing Hari Katha, Bhagavad Katha. His heart will, even if he's burning from threefold miseries, Aridevik, Adhyatmik, Adibhautik kleshas, that heart will feel some coolness by hearing Hari Katha. Just like you are suffering in the hot sun and night time you sit on the balcony and the moonshine is touching your body and moonshine is cooling in nature. So Hari Katha is cooling like moonshine. So we should try to hear Bhagavatam from such a Vaishnava. So वास्तव में हरि भक्ति के मार्ग पर ही चला ही नहीं है, यही मूर्ख बनने का सहज मार्ग है. फुलिशनेस मेड इजी. सो वी शुड नॉट बिकम फुलिश. हमें पक पक पर भ्रांति होती है. कुहक द्वारा आवृत रहने पर तब तक सत्य का उद्घाटन संभव पर नहीं होगा, जब तक सत्य के आलोक से आलोकित न हुआ जाए. सो कवरिंग डार्कनेस, कुहक मीन्स डार्कनेस. आवर आईज आर कवर्ड विद डार्कनेस. Just like you cannot see the sun in the daytime, and also even in the daytime, the owl is not able to see the sun. So therefore, we have to approach a pure Vaishnava, and he will illuminate our eyes and remove the cataract of the eyes. We will conduct an eye operation, and then we can see the transcendental message of Bhagavatam. So we'll stop here today. I have to catch a train to Gudur and then to Lucknow. So thank you so much for joining me. I thank all of you from the core of my heart. It encourages me. Tomorrow, actually, I will not be able to give this Bhagavatam class. I may request Sripad Dandi Maharaj, see if he has time to give. He had told me that 1 or 2 days in a week, he will also like to give class. And he blessed also this endeavor of discussing Bhagavatam, which was Anurag Prabhuji started Bhagavatam. So thank you so much. Vancha kalpatra vaishya kripa sindhu vajapritanam pavane Vaishnav Hare Hare Krishna. So Anman Prabhu, Jai Dhwani, please.
शिशि गुरु गौरंग कंदरिका गिरिधारी राधा विनोद बैनर्जी की जय. ओम विष्णु पार स्तोत्र शत श्रीमद् भक्ति वृंद विष्णु देवी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. ओम विष्णु पार स्तोत्र शत श्रीमद् भक्ति वृंद दंडी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पार स्तोत्र शत श्रीमद् भक्ति वृंद नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पार अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् भक्ति वृंद वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पार स्तोत्र शत श्रीमद् भक्ति वृंद स्वामी महाराज की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पार स्तोत्र शत श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट विष्णु पर स्तोत्र शंका श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट परम भगवत प्रभारा श्री गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति ठाकुर की जय. नित्य ले प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. श्री गौरी वेदांत श्री बुद्धभूषण प्रभु की जय. श्री विष्णु चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर श्री नौतम श्याम प्रभु की जय. श्री कृष्ण कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री रूप सनातन बात दीप गोपाल दास सर गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंद श्री गौर प्रसाद बिंद की जय. नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से गौर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री वेद गदाधर श्री वसति गौर भक्त बिंद की जय. शांतरदीप मायपुर श्री मातदीप गोद्रमदीप मध्यदीप कोलादीप ऋतुदीप जानुदीप मोद द्रुम द्रिवदीप पद्मकाशी नवदीप धाम की जय. श्री राधे कृष्ण गोपा गोपी गो गोवर्धन श्री ब्रजमंडल की जय. श्री राधिकुंड श्याम कुंड गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति की जय. श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमा शिव गमाई की जय. श्री गोपीश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जी की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंदिर की जय. सर्व विघ्न विनाश के श्री नरसिंहदेव की जय. भक्त प्रभार श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. चार धाम की जय. चार संप्रदाय की जय. चार आचार्य की जय. अकर मत राज श्री चैतन्य मार्ग की जय. श्री केशव जी गौड़ी मत समा की जय. ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय. शरणम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. सामगात्र भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री नित्य गौर प्रेम हरि हरि बोल.
हे हरि हरि बोल. क्षमा करो, दया करो, कृपा करो, रक्षा करो. गुरुवे गौर चंद्राय राधिकाय तुझाले कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. हरे कृष्ण. दंडवत. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Prams. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai Nangwan Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Maharaj. Can I please have the page that you stopped at?
Yeah, page number will be in the middle of page 25. Shri Bhagavatam
95.
25. Yeah, 25. Yeah. Foolishness made easy, that English statement below that. Page number 25 in the Hindi version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Mj ki jai. Vanshakhalpa to Kripa Samudri Vichaka
Nityanam
Chaitanya
Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Jai Vishakadri ki Jai Samasta Shota Vrinda ki Jai. All the listeners, all glories to you. Thank you so much. Dandavat out of your lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Much. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. And tomorrow with Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Dandi Maharaj, sorry.
No. Yeah, Maharaj make you. Yes, yes. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.